Hi guys. I just wanted to walk you through the concept of truing up. I think I briefly mentioned it, but I did make this PowerPoint a couple years back to really make sure that students are visually understanding what this true up process is. You guys are going to start out by truing up your front and back bodices, and then moving forward, you'll have to true up all the pattern pieces as well. So I just want to take a minute and make sure we're really understanding what the heck that even means. Um, so here's just what your pattern pieces will look like when you're completely done. I know right now we've only done the front and back bodice. So you just want to take a minute, maybe we'll just focus on the front and back bodice. Which pieces get sewn together, right? You need to start with that question. And once you have the answer, then you'll be able to true them up. So it's important to know, like for example, your side seam is going to get sewn together, right? The side, right? So which side seam? I guess the back side seam is going to get sewn to the front side seam. So if they're going to get sewn together, shouldn't they be the same length, right? So you'll want to get a ruler and measure each one and make sure that they're the same length. What else gets sewn together? Let's hit the next slide. Da, 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 da. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's a little video. How cute. Okay. So here we go. So I'm kind of selecting them all. And da da da. Put this in fast forward. Okay, this is the side seam. Trying to change my stroke color in Illustrator to green. Great, I was successful. And that guy gets sewn to the side seam on the front bodice. Those two will be sewn together. They need to be the same length. Our shoulder seam, that's gonna get sewn. Our back shoulder is gonna get sewn to the front shoulder seam. Yeah. Now what about that little V in between the back? Oh, we're not gonna talk about it right now. We're moving on. So now I know you guys haven't drafted the skirt, don't stress out. But later on, you're gonna have to make sure it's the same length. Okay, are we done? What else gets sewn together? Our darts get sewn together. The dart leg gets sewn to a dart leg, right? So you want to make sure all the dart legs that get sewn to each other are the same length. That doesn't mean both darts have to be the same length, just each individual dart leg that gets sewn to itself, okay? Yes. Dun, dun. I wonder if I have the power to fast forward this magical video. Let's see here. Ooh, I do. Can we move this random sign? And kind of speed this up. Okay, so I'm getting all those darts. Ooh, now I'm selecting an armhole maybe? Yeah. So how do we sew the armhole? How are we gonna true that up? What color did I give it? Did I give it black? That's kind of confusing. Oh, I think I give it like a gray. Anyways, this is our back armhole. So this part of the sleeve gets sewn to the back armhole, and this part of the sleeve gets sewn to the front armhole. We need to make sure that this bell-shaped curve is gonna fit in the front and back curves total. It's a little bit of math, right? We gotta add this curve to this curve and make sure this fits. And we really like our grain line to be at the top where the seam is, if possible. Now, what about our center back bodice? Should that be the same length as our center front bodice? No. Center front, you'll cut on the fold. The back seam gets sewn to itself. I see a lot of students are always trying to make sure that this length is the same as the front, but it's not. They don't get sewn to each other, it doesn't matter, it's fine. One last thing would be on the sleeve. Let's see if I could fast forward it. Yeah, I'm kind of going over all of that. Again, same deal on the skirt. Da, 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 da. Are we gonna forget our sleeve? Here we go. So the sleeve has to be sewn shut, so it gets sewn to itself as well. So this line here needs to be the same as this line. Now, by the way, you haven't subtracted the sleeve yet, but just so you know, this is not a fold line. This is a grain line. the shape of the bell curve is not symmetrical, not on the sloper with woven fabric. I know I have seen bad patterns that are cut on the fold, works fine for knit fabrics, lots of children's wear, no big deal, but generally speaking, you're gonna have a funny fit. Trust me, I have sewn sleeves on the wrong way and you feel like this. It's awkward and weird. So this curve is designed to fit the front, and like usually a little bit more is kind of taken out of it, believe it or not. And then this is designed to sew in the back. So there'll be notches on it. Usually there's 2 notches to show the back and 1 notch just so show you that it's the front. But yeah, so anyways, step 1, what seams get sewn to what? Figure that out. Got it figured out? Are they the same length? Okay, so that's kind of a big deal. Okay, not sure what's happening here. Okay, the next thing is, how do our curves look? So if I'm gonna sew the side seam of the front bodice to the back one, we have an armhole curve. How's that look when they get together? Kind of getting it in there for you. Let's see. What's it gonna look like? Anticipation is building up. Should I fast forward it? Is this just too much? Here we go. It's coming. It's coming. Zoom out. Zoom out. Yeah. Okay. It's okay. I guess it's not that bad. But I kind of think it should be a little more round. I'd probably shave off, believe it or not, a little bit more in the front. Is that the end of the video? Did it end? I think this video ended. Let me see here. Probably. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, you want to make sure it's not a weird tear shape. To me, again, this one, I kind of want to shave a little bit off. So look for that. You'll have to do the same lining up your shoulder seams and look at that neckline. Is it going to be round around the neck? How about the armhole, the top? Is that going to look nice? So just double check this stuff. We actually learned this, not through the book. I don't know if the book really talks about it, but it was a couple pattern makers that came and guest spoke, and it was like one of their pet peeves. They're like, I hate that new pattern makers never check the shape of the curve. And it's so important because it's, you know, when you wear it, you want it to be nice and smooth. You don't want it to be like clunky and like pointy. So I thought that was a good tip. And I'm like, I'm going to keep that tip and make sure my students know about that. Okay, I think this is a little color code. And I think the videos. Oh, I wonder what that was. Should I go back? Meh. Oh, here's like a bad example, I think. Is this going to play? Let's see. Yeah. This is, and this happens all the time. Oopsie. Not that. I used the white arrow instead of the black arrow for those of you guys taking Illustrator. But I'm back on the black arrow, so it's working. It's good. Okay, so this is a very exaggerated bad case. Did you see how much longer the front bodice side seam was? So you gotta fix it. Also, what's going on with this curve? It's not cute. No. We gotta fix that. Let's see if they're gonna fix it or what. Okay, I'm just kind of drawing an illustration. But you kind of get the idea, right? You just need to make it a nice smooth curve. So you change your pattern a little bit. That's all. Not too big of a deal. Okay, let's kind of fast forward. We get the deal. You're taking forever. Here we go. How's this looking? Now for this guy, yeah. That looks pretty good. I'm good with that. I think that's kind of nice. Quick pause. When you're checking the length of the shoulder seams, you'd want to fold the dart closed. You don't want to count the space here because that would be closed. So whatever this part, the back shoulder plus the other back shoulder, that should equal the front shoulder. Don't include the dart. Okay, what's going on here? Now we're trying to figure out what the other one looks like. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit. It's taking a little while. Oh, I'm checking the back neck now. How's my back neck? Oh, it's a little pointy. Little pointy. Kind of want to fix that. So check all your curves and you know what? Just fix them. That's all I have to say about that. Okay. Oh, no, we already did that. Yeah. So here's kind of your checklist. first of all, make sure all your lines are straight. Get a ruler, make sure they are, okay? Um, use a curve ruler to help smooth out curves if you need assistance with that. I know we're not in the classroom, so I'm not gonna be that strict about it, but just make sure everything's smooth. You used a ruler. All seams should be the same length if they get sewn to each other. All curved seams should have a continuous shape when they get sewn to another seam. And then you do, at the end of the day, want to add notches to really only to the sleeve and front and back bodice. We'll do that after we sew the sleeve. Now, one other thing I will say about truing up the seams when it comes to length, what are you going to do if the bodice front is longer than the back? People ask, should I make the front shorter? Should I make the back longer? Should I change them both so they meet in the middle? It's up to you. You are the pattern maker. You need to answer that question based on what you think is best, okay? There's always different situations. For me, if the front's longer, I might just make the back longer too, because sometimes I like to have more fabric during the first fit rather than less fabric. I just think it's easier to fit and take away stuff during a fitting. That's just a decision I made. I don't know. Then people say, okay, Kyla, well, if I'm gonna make it longer, where should I make it longer? Should I lift the armhole up or should I make the side seam go down longer? I don't know. It's up to you. So you get to decide. You can do a little bit of both. I don't know. I would kind of make that judgment looking at my pattern. If I thought like, oh, my armhole looks so good, I don't want to change it. Maybe I'd add it to the bottom. Or if I already drafted my bottom skirt and I knew that the waist was trued up already, I maybe wouldn't want to mess with it, so I might do my armhole. I don't know. There's so many different reasons you have to decide. But yeah, but you have options, I guess is the point. Okay, so anyways, that's my little spiel on truing up your patterns. Just they're nice and clean. You'll do this whether you do it on the computer. You'll true them up, make sure the same measurement, or in the classroom by hand. Either way, it's really important and very impressive to have it that way. It's going to look really unprofessional if you showed this to a potential employer and they're like, ooh, do they not know that these seams get sewn together and they're way off? So you want to make sure you do all this now before you cut out your fabric, all that good stuff. Okay, as always, if you guys have any questions, reach out and let me know and we will talk about it.